You know, ever since I started making content for Eternal back in 2017, I always dreamed of getting a card to spoil for an upcoming set one day. I'd always wonder what it would be like and how I'd go about spoiling it. I've come up with some pretty elaborate ideas in my head about how I'd do things. But back then, I never would have expected that there'd be a community store where you can use a currency that you earn from watching Eternal streams on Twitch to purchase spoilers, among other things. But here we are. And first off, I do want to thank Direwolf for giving myself and others in the community the opportunity to purchase spoilers from the next set, Dark Frontier, in the community store with the influence we earned. But let's not waste any more time. Here it is, my very first spoiler. So we've got Olly Maniacal Grave Robber. This is a 2-power, 2/1, requiring 2 Shadow Influence to play. He's got Deadly and Quick Draw, and an ability, which is Shift 4. When one of your other units dies while Olly is shifted, give it Voidbound, and Olly gets its strength and health. I have a few thoughts about this card, especially now that we know what Shift does at this point. The influence cost tells me that Direwolf really wants to incentivize the player to play this card for the Shift cost and not just as a 2-power 2/1. Granted, a 2/1 Deadly is pretty good. See Carrington Merchant. A 2/1 Deadly is even better with Quick Draw. But having double Shadow Influence means it's a little tougher to play this on turn 2 than some other 2-drops we've come to know and love. Even though there's other cards in this set that will make that a little easier. Anyway, where could this card potentially see play in Constructed? This card can give you some value back if your opponent decides to spend their spot removal on your other units and they don't have removal for Olly. And you can swing for potentially a ton of damage since Olly will also be unblockable on the turn he comes out of the shift phase. So, this might see play in mid-range decks running Shadow, but not running any Void Recursion. Which is weird because Recursion is one of the things Shadow specializes in. You won't be able to combo this with Vara Fate Touched, unfortunately. Speaking of Vara, assuming we're paying the shift cost, this is not a replacement for Vara Vengeance Seeker. This is likely going to complement her instead, if Olly sees play at all. I really want to try Olly in Big Xenon since that deck doesn't always bring stuff back from the void, but who knows. Maybe Olly works out better in Stone Scar or even an aggressive Argenport list. I'm kind of just spitballing ideas at this point. But I do want to quickly talk about the design of this card. The fact that your units gain Voidbound is a nice touch design-wise, given that Olly is a Grave Robber. The competitive player in me obviously doesn't like it, but as far as design, this is A+. Also, looking at the art, I couldn't help but notice that Olly has 4 arms. And the first thing it reminded me of was the Gorgons that we have in the game. And yet, Olly looks more human. I'm actually hoping we get a campaign that focuses on the Gorgons one day, and I'm very curious about the lore behind Olly in particular. But I hope you enjoyed the spoiler. I'm just hyped that I finally got to spoil a card, and I'm very excited for the new Dark Frontier set, which is coming out tomorrow. Let me know what decks you guys are planning to build when the new set drops, or what your favorite spoilers have been so far in the comments. And feel free to check out the other Eternal videos on this channel too, if you'd like. And I'll see you all later this week. Take care.